Hello Cantina denizens and welcome to Victoria's Cantina, where today we're having a look at the brand new Mattel Jurassic World, the Amber Collection, Dr. Alan Grant. Alright, so here is Dr. Grant in his packaging. Now the Amber Collection has been quite a mixed bag for me. I really love the idea of a collector geared 6-inch scale action figure line for Jurassic Park, but the problem is Mattel hasn't quite handled it the way that I would have expected. Earlier this year I published a video, Everything Wrong with the Amber Collection, which was constructive criticism, the good and the bad regarding this line, things I'd like to see them do better, things that are baffling to me about the line, and hopefully incrementally we'll see things improve. But let's take a look. Let's use Alan Grant as an example of what the Amber Collection currently is and where it can go. So this retails for $19.99. I got mine from Amazon.com. And the box, as you can see, is more of the same Amber Collection theme that we have seen previously. Right here at the back, we do get some information about Dr. Alan Grant. A prominent paleontologist, Dr. Alan Grant, knows all along that the Velociraptor is far more than just a 6-foot turkey. When his tour of Jurassic Park turns upside down, Grant is in serious danger of the very dinosaurs he spent his life researching. Suffice to say, he decides not to endorse the park. And there he is, great image there of Dr. Grant. Here's the bottom right here. All right, let's spend a little bit of time, get Dr. Grant out of the packaging. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the figure. And here is Dr. Grant out of the packaging. I gotta say, when I saw him in the packaging, I was kind of like, wasn't too sure, but now that I have him out of the packaging, he's actually looking pretty good. I will say that his shirt is very bright, vibrant blue. If that doesn't come through in the video, you'll definitely see it in person. But you know, if nothing else, it's going to give him a little bit more shelf presence on your display shelf. Proportionally, this looks really good. I feel like his physicality is completely there. He looks like Dr. Alan Grant in terms of his proportions. Like, he just feels like Dr. Grant, if that makes sense. Just looking at him, the essence is there. Looks like the figure has quite a bit of articulation. He's got a good number of accessories. And it'll be neat to see how he compares with his Legacy Collection counterpart. All right, let's take a close-up look at the figure. So like I said, the essence of Dr. Alan Grant is there, but it's not a dead ringer for Sam Neill. It's not a dead ringer for Sam Neill as Alan Grant. It's not terrible. I feel like the sculpt is more or less what it needs to be, but it kind of falls apart a little bit with the paint operations on the figure. It's not awful. I just feel like the paint could be enhanced just a little bit. If Mattel was using what Hasbro's been doing with the Black series, with the Vintage Collection, with Photoreal, and I know that Mattel has their own sort of face printing tech, I think it could look a lot better if they had something more similar to Hasbro's technology, but it's not bad. It's just a little weird. And part of that could be the sculpt just not being 100% dead on. Like from this angle, it's not too bad, but it's definitely, this is a common criticism I've had with the Amber Collection, is that the figures kind of look like caricatures. They look like cartoon versions of the characters from the films, and I feel like that's still the case with this version of the figure. The colors that they went with as far as the skin tone, his hair, that looks good to me. You will see that there are some little holes on his sideburns, and those are for the sunglasses. I'll show you how those work in just a moment. They're not too noticeable off the camera, but they are there. If you look for them, you will see them. You can see that he's got this hat. His fedora looks good. It's nicely painted, nice detail to it. It does not come off. It is sculpted to the figure. It would have been nice if it came off, but it's not really necessary, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Looking at his bandana, that looks really good. Some red and white detail. Again, this shirt is very bright blue. I do like the denim look to it. I do like the way that they added multiple paint applications to it. Even seems like there's a wash that's been done for it. That all looks great. But it is a very bright blue shirt. And when you get it in hand, you'll see what I mean. He's got a belt. Belt looks pretty good. His sleeves, you can see, are rolled up just a bit. And then his pants, I feel like they went a little bit overboard with the pants. They're just supposed to be khakis, right? But look at all the They went a little overboard. I wish they would have taken the money they used for doing the pants and put that into his face a little bit. I mean, that's just, it's not bad. Again, it's just like they don't need to be that detailed. It's kind of the same thing they did with Hammond by, you know, just really making him look dirty when they didn't really need to do that. The boots actually look quite good. I really quite like the way that they did the boots. You can see that they are light brown color, almost yellowy looking. And then the soles of them are actually quite nicely done. You can see that the soles are very nicely done on his boots. He does have peg holes down there. And you can see laces on his shoes as well. He's also got a watch. So it's nice that they included that detail. What time is it on his watch? It looks like at this point it is maybe, it's about to be 7 o'clock, or is it about to be... Is it about, maybe it's 1:25? I don't know. The numbers are too small to see, but that's the idea. Now, in terms of articulation, Dr. Grant does have a ball joint here at the neck, so you will see that it does get some pretty decent movement. It goes down, it goes not up a whole lot. Basically, it goes up to like a neutral, and you can go side to side, of course. You can do a head tilt on it. You do have ball hinges at the shoulders, and those are pretty nicely done. There is a swivel here at the bicep. You do get double bends here at the elbows. If you get them to move all the way, you get some pretty nice movement out of them. The joint's a little unsightly, but not too bad. Here at the wrist, you do have a rotation. You hinge backward, you hinge forward, and on the other wrist, it's going to be the same exact thing. There's a ball joint here at the torso. Not the best movement, but side to side is actually really good. Side to side is actually really good. It's just forward and back. You don't get a ton out of that. There is a rotation here at the waist as well. Here at the hips, you get those typical Mattel ball sockets right there. So you can do a full split. You can bring them forward as well, just like that. He has cuts at both of his thighs. You're going to get your double bends here at the knees. So again, really good movement right there with those double joints. And then here at the ankles, he does go up and down a little bit. You can rotate it side to side, and there's a slight pivot to it. Not too much, though. Not enough to really affect the figure, but just a little bit of movement there. So very nicely articulated. It's also a really lightweight figure, like other Amber Collection humans. Super, super lightweight plastic. All right, now in terms of accessories, you do get some pretty cool things with this figure. You get an alternate head sculpt right here, so you can see that this is an additional head with glasses on it. He's also kind of smiling, I guess, or wincing or grimacing. I can't really tell. He's got a couple of hands. This one is kind of neat because it has a raptor claw. It doesn't really look like a raptor claw. It's not very curved, so I mean, it could kind of be anything. It could be like a charcoal pickle. It could be like a tiny eggplant. It could be maybe like an ice pick. It could be a lot of things, but it's supposed to be a raptor claw, and it is permanently affixed into the hand, so you're not going to be able to pull it out. There's also an alternate left hand, and this one is just kind of holding, so it's meant for the flare right here, which is the same flare we got with Dr. Malcolm. So if you already have that figure, you're going to know what to expect here with that. All right, so I did mention that these glasses come off, and they do. You just kind of have to get under there and pull them off with your nail. This is what that head sculpt looks like. This one actually might be a little better than the other one, actually, in terms of looking like Dr. Grant. There's a little bit of a mark there on his nose from the glasses. So be careful with that. There are imprints on the sides of his nose from those glasses, so don't leave them on too long. Or, put them on one head and just leave them, I guess. But this looks pretty good. You can see that, hair's nicely done. And the glasses themselves are just these, they're aviators, and yeah, they're pretty decent, I guess. If you want to put them on this head sculpt, you'll just take the figure, grab the glasses, and just line those, the sides of his specs up with the holes there on his face, just like that. And there we go. So now you have aviator glasses, Alan Grant with the fedora. I actually think that the glasses look better on this head sculpt than on the other one. So if it were me, I'd probably leave them on this one, maybe. I don't know. They're not perfect. They are a little bit oversized, and as you can see, they are a little bit bulky for what they are. So yeah, maybe you'll leave them on the other head sculpt. It's totally up to you. At least you have the option. Now, if you did want to take off the head altogether, you could do that. You're just going to pull the head off like that. You have a little blue socket right there, and you're gonna go ahead and put the head on just like that. And now you have a more happy looking Dr. Grant. This is post tequila shot Dr. Grant. This is post I Escaped Jurassic Park alive Dr. Grant. I kind of like this head sculpt better, but now that I look at it, like those holes on the sides of his head from the glasses, I kind of wish they would have found a better way to include that feature. Hands are pretty straightforward. I'm sure you've done this before if you have any of these figures, so you're just going to pull those out. Again, it's like a blue like socket there, which is interesting. Go ahead and plug that in. So now he's got his raptor claw. Same thing with the other hand. If you want him to hold the flare, just go ahead and pull this hand out, grab the other hand, stick it in, grab the flare, stick that in, and now you have a second look for your Dr. Grant figure. So it is cool that you have these options to give them different accessories, change the head. That's kind of cool. And the glasses, pretty neat feature that the figure has too. Here's a comparison of the Amber Collection Dr. Grant along with his Legacy Collection counterpart right here. I mean, you can see that there's huge differences in terms of color, in terms of level of detail on both the pants and the jacket. There goes the gun. And even the hat, the fedora, obviously very less detailed, far less detailed. And then the likeness. I mean, just looking at them side by side, I feel like they're very similar. I mean, I feel like it's the exact same digital sculpt that they relied on to do the two figures. I mean, the expression is exactly the same. Everything about the two figures from the facial, from a facial perspective, looks exactly the same. So I'm going to say they use the same files on both of these expressions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Mattel Jurassic World Amber Collection Dr. Alan Grant 6.5-inch scale action figure. Overall, you guys, it's not too bad. Is it quite a collector detail-oriented premium figure? Not quite. It's not quite there because the likeness isn't completely where it needs to be. It's still a very lightweight plastic, still feels like a pretty cheap, for lack of a better word, production. But you do get your bang for your buck in terms of the accessories, in terms of the interchangeable head, the glasses, the hands, the flare, all of that stuff is good. He's nicely articulated and he looks pretty decent. He's a little bit overdone though in terms of his detail on his shirt, on his pants. And I guess it's better to be overdone than underdone when it comes to action figures. I'm not sure. It really depends on what the situation is. In this case, I feel like the shirt's a little bit overdone and the pants are also very overdone. I wish that it looked more like Sam Neill, but again, the Amber Collection human figures typically look like caricatures of their real live action counterparts. So that's not too surprising. I do like the figure for what it comes with. I do wish that the glasses though, if they found a way to do those a little bit better, because the holes on the sides of the heads just don't look too good. They don't look too good at all. So you may want to just leave them on the head sculpt that you're displaying him with. But it's definitely par for the course for Amber Collection, and I would say that these figures have come a little bit of a ways since the very first Dr. Ian Malcolm, since Owen Grady. They're marginally getting a little bit better. They're just not quite industry standard for this scale quite yet, at this price point even. But for the most part, it's fun. I'm glad to have it in my collection. And if you're collecting the Mattel Jurassic World line, especially the Amber Collection, then I'm sure you're going to find enjoyment out of it. And that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check me out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Check out the Vintage Collection podcast and Cantina Chatter podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, be well, collect them all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.